I always believed football would be my shield, that no matter what happened in life, the game would protect me. But I was wrong. One night changed everything. I was at the peak of my career. My name echoed in stadiums, kids wore my jersey on the streets, and reporters wrote about my goals like I was writing history itself. I was living the dream every boy with a football ever wanted. Then came the message. Just one message. I didn't even think twice. She said she admired me, had been following my career for years and wanted to meet. I thought, why not? I've met fans before. It was supposed to be harmless, just a casual dinner, maybe a photo, nothing more. But that night turned into a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. The very next morning, my phone was on fire. Missed calls from my agent, from the club, from teammates. When I finally picked up, my agent's voice was shaking. Have you seen the news? What news? I asked. Turn on the TV. There it was. My face plastered on every channel, every headline screaming the same thing. Star player accused of rape. My knees went weak. I sat down, staring at the screen like it was some sick joke. It couldn't be real. Not me. Not after all I had built. But the world didn't care about what I thought. In just a few hours, I wasn't a hero anymore. I was a villain. When I walked into training that day, the air was different. Teammates who usually cracked jokes around me barely said a word. The coach pulled me aside. Tell me it's not true. His eyes searched mine. It's not, I whispered, my throat dry. He nodded, but I could see the doubt in his eyes. That doubt spread. The media tore me apart. Every little detail of my life was dragged out, twisted, and used against me. Old photos, old relationships, even old arguments became evidence in their eyes. And the fans? They were ruthless. Every game I played after that was war. The boos were louder than the cheers. People threw insults, some threw objects. I'd score a goal, but instead of celebrating, I just stood there numb. What was the point? My name was already ruined. Court became my second home. I wore suits more than jerseys. I spent hours defending myself to people who didn't even want to hear the truth. Cameras flashed every time I entered the building, reporters shouting questions I couldn't answer. My family suffered the most. My mother stopped watching games. My father rarely spoke. His silence hurt more than words. My sister stopped going to school because of the whispers, the bullying, the cruel laughter of kids repeating what their parents had read. At night, I couldn't sleep. I'd stare at the ceiling, replaying everything in my head. Did I miss something? Did I trust too easily? Why me? After months of fighting, the truth came out. The case was dropped. There was no evidence. I was innocent. But innocence doesn't erase scars. When I walked back onto the pitch, the crowd didn't roar the way they used to. Some fans clapped, but others still booed. I could hear the whispers. Money bought him freedom. Or, where there's smoke, there's fire. I tried to focus on the game, but it was impossible. Every tackle, every goal, every mistake, it felt heavier. The joy of football, the pure love I had for the game since I was a child, was gone. And the locker room, it was never the same. Friendships I thought were unbreakable had cracked. Some teammates avoided me. Some stood by me. But even then, I could see the question in their eyes. I kept playing. I kept scoring. But deep down, I knew things would never go back to how they were. One night, one accusation. That's all it took to change my story forever. Now, when I walk past kids wearing my jersey, I wonder what they think. Do they see a hero? Or do they see the headlines? And when I score, I wonder if people remember the goal, or if they're still thinking about the lies. I didn't just lose my reputation. I lost my peace. Football was supposed to be my shield, my escape from the world. But instead it became the stage where the world tore me apart. And me? I'll keep playing. Because that's all I know. Because no matter what they say, football is the only thing that still feels real. But every time the whistle blows, I carry more than my boots onto the pitch. I carry the weight of a story I never asked for, but can never escape.